Sport to 9, more from the Southland boxing champs. We have a match bout coming up between Mitchell Wilson and Cooper Miller. But first, the elite male improver 80kg final, with Hamish Tafata taking on Kieran McCormick. We join the action in round 2. Your commentators are Tom Conroy and Tom O'Connor.
Their effort to try and get the boxing champs in Southland. You had a good, decent bit at it. And had you not, there might not have been any. So there has to be some satisfaction in that.
Yes, Tom, it was a good bid, and we were supported by the Invercargill Licensing Trust, and that enabled us to go for it. In fact, I fancied my chances of Southland getting it, but Auckland came in later after us, and as it happened, it proved that most of the boxes, Tom, for the elite will come from the North Island, and it sort of made sense in a way, but they weren't there when we entertained the idea. But it was also very costly to get the boxes into Invercargill. That was another point that was raised.
Well, it's just good news that there is the champs. At one stage it looked like they might miss this year for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, long time, yes. It would have been drastic had they not been held, and that's the main thing is that the beauty of it is they're going to be held in 2013, and that's the main thing.
Absolutely. A bit of a backward step for the sport's reputation if you couldn't stage your best boxers on the national platform.
Exactly. And also it's opportunity for the selectors. They'll be there in force to select, if not a training squad, a possible team, male and female, to represent New Zealand at the Commonwealth Games.
Yep. Just as we focus our attention back on these two, and it's a good matchup this. Both contributing well to the bout.
You find, Tom, in most cases the spars in the gymnasium are just about as good as a fight in front of an audience.
The judges will have the work cut out here.
I think they might.
They've got good techniques, good stand toe to toe. No one's prepared to back down. No one's really dominating. There's a bit of pressure coming on there from McCormick, trying to be aggressive, but Tafata in the red is well composed. Side-on technique too, defensively, hard to get a target to hit. And gets a nice little left in there too to score. Covers up quickly once he's thrown that punch, so something like the look of Hamish Tafata. Halfway through this last round. And Jim will be proud, I think, to have put out a couple of boxes. Put on a good display.
Yes, they're both done very well, Tom. They're both competing very earnestly.
Shows you they value that Southland title. Who's got it? And that's the question. Yes, Hamish Tafata wins in red, and just acknowledges his fellow teammate that he takes out the title for 2013. Bout 12 is the match bout, 3 by 1.5 minutes between Mitchell Wilson in the red corner, Cooper Miller in blue.
Now, Mitchell Wilson is from the Olympic Boxing Club in Dunedin. Actually, they're situated down at Mosgiel. And Cooper Miller is from Dino's gym in Invercargill. And I think I'm right in saying This will be Cooper Miller's first bout, and I think it's Mitchell Wilson's second, if not his first.
And it's good in these occasions where they haven't got a weight division to fight in, that they can find two reasonably well matched opponents physically and experience-wise here. So they've only had a bout between them at least. It'll be a good experience.
And there we have Tom, a southpaw.
We do indeed. We've only had one, I think, so far. It's the second on the card, and we're up to about 13, which is...
I'm surprised you didn't pick it up when they shook hands.
Yes, it's more and more common. I mean, there was a bygone era a long time ago when being left-handed was unacceptable in society, wasn't it? So they'd have been discouraged from being a southpaw. Now, of course, you just box to your strength. Both throwing solid punches there, so there's a bit of scoring going on. And particularly from the red corner, Mitchell Wilson throwing a few late punches and hoping to score, but we'll wait and see whether that mounted on the scorecard or not. Again, we see the man in red is the aggressor, trying to pin Miller in the corner, but Miller gets out of it nicely and throws a couple on the way out.
I like the stance and the approach of both these boxers, Tom.
Yep, certainly they're standing strong.
Well, up to now, there's no flailing. They're boxing correct type of punches. And it's good to see for debut boxing. Or close to debut. I'm pretty sure it's debut boxing for both of them.
Southpaws always do look a little awkward because we're so used to seeing just the traditional stance, but there's nothing wrong with the punches being thrown by Miller. He's landing a few. Sort of withstood that early barrage from Wilson. But Wilson's still on the front foot. Looking to be positive. Slight height advantage to Miller. It's not much, but a little bit of extra reach perhaps too. So that's a fairly even exchange after 2 rounds.
It's going to be close.
Continuing where they left off in the last of 3 rounds, and becoming even busier because neither boxer, just reminding you, knows the score, so neither confident that they've hit on the scorecard, nor should they be.
Now, I believe Mitchell Wilson from Olympic Club, he's the brother of a very promising young lady in Dunedin, Soraya Wilson, who has been selected for the Youth New Zealand team to compete in Bulgaria very shortly.
Well, I'm going to leave this one to the judges. I'm not certain who's got the upper hand here.
Well, it's hard to determine, Tom.
I'd say Miller perhaps getting better value for his punches, but Wilson throwing them more. How many are actually striking the target and scoring? Less certain.
Yes, I think at this stage either boxer would be pleased to get the decision.
Oh, there's good left there.
Nice left hand,
Yeah, that was one that the judges must have scored 2 or 3 there for Miller, and maybe that could prove the difference in the end, getting a couple of clean hits that all can see. And that was a good display for 2 guys who haven't boxed much. Yes, a win to Miller, and as we suspected, just by majority, so a very close encounter indeed.